Wherever the pipes play across the world, men and women of Scottish race will be there to hear their music. From Highland Glen and Island Sheeling, from lowland plains and border hills, this people has gone forth to find homes in other lands. Canada in particular has given sanctuary to many thousands of Scots, and their proud spirit has left its mark upon each of her 9 provinces. In the Highlands of Cape Breton, Scottish settlers found scenes that recalled to them their own beloved homeland. There is an old Gaelic saying which translated runs, "A Gael's breathing place is on the summit." Crafts and cottages were set high on the hills and far apart, for a deep enjoyment of solitude is as vital a part of Scottish character as is generous hospitality and friendship. The Reverend Norman MacLeod was the founder of one of the most distinctively Gaelic settlements in Nova Scotia. In 1817, he led a large band of followers westwards to the New World. Back in Scotland, MacLeod had seen the people go hungry and hopeless. He had disagreed also with what he considered the reactionary spirit of the church. Following 3 hard years on the mainland, the immigrants once more set sail in a vessel well named the Ark, and built by themselves. It was intended that their voyage should take them eventually to Ohio. A storm, however, drove them from their course, and after many days battling against the elements, the ship was finally forced to take shelter in St. Anne's Harbour on the west coast of Cape Breton. The only Gaelic college in the world now stands near to the place where the first immigrants landed. Founded in 1939, it aims at keeping alive the culture and crafts so dear to Highlanders and Lowlanders alike. Education has always been highly prized by the Scots, and a school was the first building they erected. This great reverence for learning persists down to the present day. The older people never returned to the land of their birth, but set their roots deep into the soil of freedom, to which they believed Providence had guided them. Today, living among the lonely farms, are many who have heard their grandparents tell of adventures experienced by the early settlers, as well as of the daring exploits of other Scots in Canada. The wild skirl of the pipes, as it drifts across the hills, recalls to them tales of Highland regiments who landed with Wolfe at Quebec, stories of explorers like Simon Fraser and Alexander Mackenzie, whose discoveries charted a highway across the continent, and the romantic record of Scottish merchants who did so much to make Montreal the great commercial capital of the Dominion. Until the first church was built, communion services were held out of doors. Soon, however, church spires rose among the hills, symbols of a dearly won freedom to worship God as they deemed best. The churches became the center of a vigorous, if plain, form of worship.
Lichesteria, Janet the Holland Holland, Marinera Nye, Orgaini Juga Naran Wahel, Agus Magrin at Hierfen, Avel, Marivahin Swingen to a look here. Agus na Lake down on board is Shane, at Sue Shane or no. Or is left to Ria, Agus and Kuan, Agus a Lord to Shiri. Amen. Is in Shane upon Clone Gierner, or in Trias Holland, Harry Sherinike. It's a cheer pain, a spoor for young, for we me and ye.
Presenters led the singing of the metrical version of the psalm, the custom being for the congregation to repeat each line after him, a practice which grew out of the illiteracy of some and the dearth of hymn books of the time. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. As in Scotland, so now in New Scotland, sheep farming became an integral part of the crofter's life, and hundreds of small flocks wandered freely over the hills. Oh, bid them never tie them mair with wicked strings of hemp or hair, but call them out to park or hill, and let them wander at their will. So may his flock increase and grow to scores of lambs and packs of wool. And may they never learn the gates of either vile wan rest for pets, to slink through slaps and reeve and steal of stacks of peas or stalks of kale. So may they, like their great forebears, for many a year come through the shears. So wives will give them bits of bread, and bairns greet for them when they're dead. The fleece from each year's shearing requires to be carefully washed before being spun into yarn. For this the women bring kettles and tubs to the banks of a stream, where there will be plenty of water for rinsing. The wool must be spun and woven into cloth, and then there still remains the milling. For this, neighbours gather round a rough table of planks, and as they pass the damp cloth from hand to hand, thumping it on the boards to shrink and soften it, the traditional milling songs are sung. With their folklore, the Gaelic people have brought to Canada the finest traditions of the Scottish clans. Their strength and valour, rectitude and godliness, warm hearts and wise heads have all helped to build well our great dominion.
Plagen upp min grägelån.
Yes,